What does the Thing, the Hulk, and Drax all have in common in the MCU? They're all the big brawlers of their respective teams, but do you know what else they have in common? They're all pretty underwhelming in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it has me thinking, why? They all seem pretty easy to nail. Hulk smash, clobbering time, and Drax destroys. Genuinely speaking, it feels like the MCU has the superhero equivalent of the lunk alarm from Planet Fitness. Instead of going after bodybuilders, they go after muscular heroes who look like they throw hands. And if you break the rules and you sound off the alarm, Kevin Feige comes from behind the desk. Yeah, buddy, you're a bit too meaty for us here in the MCU. But we're gonna have to get you to change that gimmick. You can either be the lovable goofball, or you could be the smart tech bro. Pick one. All jokes aside, let's get started with the video and let's go over some of the problems I've had with these characters. We're gonna start with The Thing. It's clobbering time! So we don't have too much to go off with this version of The Thing, considering Fantastic Four First Steps came out less than a month ago, but I do think he was one of the weaker parts of the movie. For the most part, I like this characterization. He's a charming and warm guy. He's a dude that you could tell has a lot of heart, and that's vital in this movie. He's supposed to be a pretty caring and good man. But here's the thing. While I do think one half of The Thing is supposed to be this caring, heart of gold type of guy, the other half is supposed to be, you know, it's clobbering time! And Fantastic Four First Steps just doesn't really deliver on that part to me, and it's one of the more disappointing parts in my opinion. And before the assumption is, you just want to eat popcorn and watch action. Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. The Thing is a boxer, he has heart and he has hands. Dude fought in an intergalactic boxing match against a dude named the Champion and was able to throw hands and show how much heart he has. One of the best images of this dude in comics, in my opinion, is the one where he's standing there in front of Hulk and it says, I know you know what time it is. He throws a car at Galactus and that's cool, and I mean sure you could go, but Jorky, that's Galactus. What is he supposed to do about that guy? And it's like, I don't know, when the Human Torch threw him down, couldn't he have threw a massive haymaker at Galactus' jaw and like kind of put him back a little bit? He's the one I'm offended by the least on this list because there's time to turn it around. I'm just a little bit worried for him based off Drax and Hulk. Speaking of the Hulk, let's cover everyone's favorite Jolly Green Giant next.
And Hulk. Smash.
So many videos have already covered the downfall of the Hulk in the MCU that I don't want to beat the dead horse too much. Let's just get a quick summary out of the way. I think Hulk fans had it pretty good at first with the Edward Norton Hulk movie. He was truly on some devil time in that movie. Absolutely a monster. And then we get to Avengers where they give him the horror movie hallway scene. He also gets that moment where he jumps on that jet and takes that apart, and he also punches the giant alien whale in the face, so that was a pretty good instance for Hulk as well. And Age of Ultron Hulk also gets a lot of decent enough moments. The fight with him and Iron Man in the city is pretty great. And then we get to Thor Ragnarok, which it's great. Hulk gets a lot of good stuff to do in this movie, and he looks like an absolute monster. But after this is where they flip the switch because Hulk becomes a bitch after this movie. It all started in Infinity War where Thanos arrived, Hulk tried to Hulk smash him, you know, and Thanos pieced him up. I'm talking like a 20-piece combination, picked him up and tossed him aside like Andy did Woody when he was done playing with him. After Thanos beats the brakes out of Hulk, he is scared to come out for the rest of the movie. I am talking petrified, yelling that he does not want to come out. And you might think, well, hey, Endgame's right around the corner. Does he get a rematch?
No.
Nope, we get Smart Hulk instead, and that man does not give out hands at all. He just gives out tacos. Which is nice, but not what the fans needed. Since then, Hulk has been the same since. It's been Smart Hulk for a while, and people are tired of that. And to be honest, that entire thing with Thanos and the Hulk is not how that would go down in the comics. That isn't me saying that Hulk should have won the first fight, or even he should have won the rematch decisively, but this isn't a character that would hide away after getting punked like that. This is a character who is a raging bull. He gets stronger the angrier he gets. Hulk in the comics most certainly would have came back for the rematch, and then he would have came back for the rematch after that, and then the rematch after that. Hulk doesn't give up. Let's end this segment on a positive note, though. The Hulk is going to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I think they're going to cook with that one. I think we're going to see a monster Hulk again. Let's just hope Punisher doesn't hit him with that Black Widow speech, and I think everything's going to be fine for him.
Sun's getting real low.
And last but not least is my man Drax the Destroyer, who, in my opinion, gets done so damn dirty throughout these movies. Before I get too carried away into my rant, I want to clarify, I love the Guardians trilogy. I think they're the best movies Marvel has to offer. I love James Gunn, and I love Dave Bautista as Drax. Dave Bautista and James Gunn bring a lot of depth to a character that I don't think normally has it. I think the comic character is flatter than the paper it's printed on. However, that's just not the case in the Guardians movies. He brings a lot of the comedy and he brings a lot of the emotional weight.
Mantis, look out!
But you know what he doesn't bring to these movies? Hands. So unlike Hulk, the Marvel meaty man-hating machine got to him in his first movie in the MCU. He's first introduced in the prison as this ruthless warrior who has taken out a bunch of Ronin's men. And you're like, wow, this guy should be a problem. He's probably super powerful. Well, I guess the Marvel lunk alarm must have rang early because let me tell you, he gets buoyed in his first fight. So you may be thinking, well, he probably gets his revenge in the third act of the movie. No, he doesn't. He takes out his sidekick and that's it. Also, I want to make sure you guys remember that in this movie, he is introduced that he is after Thanos. It is his entire purpose here. He is after Thanos. So we get to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and Drax honestly doesn't get to do too much when it comes to action in general. This movie just gives Drax a lot of character work with Mantis, and I'm not going to trash it because I love that duo so much. It gets a pass. Thank you, my savior, James Gunn. See, where it gets really ugly for Drax, in my opinion, is the same place it got really ugly for the Hulk, and that's Infinity War. The Guardians start by getting a distress call. They go to check out the distress call. Boom, there's Thanos. Drax yells out Thanos. He runs towards him. Big fight incoming. Just kidding, he gets turned into cubes. Well, Jorky, what does he get to do after that? Nothing. He gets to do nothing. In the rematch, all he gets to do is hold on to Thanos' leg. That's it. And that's frustrating. You know the Star-Lord scene everyone gets mad at? I'm giving credit to my friend for making this one up. This scene should have been with Drax instead of Star-Lord. Star-Lord is an emotional human being, and I know how this scene makes sense with how we got there, but I think it would have been great if Star-Lord was the one who tried to stop Drax from doing it. Can't hold him back, Drax overpowers him, and he's the one who starts to beat the hell out of Thanos, because that makes sense, given that Thanos took away everything Drax had. You can say it's character regression, but sometimes characters should regress a little bit. People have moments of weakness and regress in the real world as well. I think it makes sense if it happens in the movies, even if it hurts sometimes to see happen. But that's not what happens, so let's just move on. Drax grabs his leg, Thanos snaps, that's it. We get to Endgame. What does Drax get to do in Endgame? He gets to stab the big guy in his back a few times, and that's cool enough, I guess. And then we get to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Adam Warlock starts off this movie by crashing into nowhere and beating the ever-loving hell out of the Guardians until Drax steps in and hits us with that.
Pick on someone your own size.
And he sends Adam Warlock flying. I'm in the movie theater kicking my feet thinking, there it is. This is where Drax is finally gonna...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
And that's when I knew to wrap it up and go home, because while I like this character a lot and he has a lot of things to offer, he does not have any hands to offer. He is just a bum when it comes to fighting. And that doesn't really make sense given the fact he ended up in that prison from being efficient at fighting and killing. But I guess things change. Maybe being in the Guardians made him weaker, but stronger emotionally. I don't know. Beyond just not having hands and not being good at fighting, or at least being shown that he's good at fighting, I'm also really disappointed that through Infinity War and Endgame, he really doesn't get to do anything with Thanos when Thanos is core to his plot. I know there's a lot of characters, but I really think the Russo brothers should have made time for Drax to shine in that movie. To summarize my thoughts on all three of these dudes, I guess it's me asking, why is it a problem for a big dude or the powerhouse of the team to be the powerhouse of the team? Let them get their strong moments of just punching a villain and sending them flying and just being strong and powerful while also being charismatic and hearts of gold. And if your thought process is, well, maybe that'd make the hero's journey too easy, then with all due respect, be better at writing. Comics have been able to make these characters work in comics for years, and team stories for years. There's no reason the MCU can't do it either. I digress when it comes to the Thing, at the very least, that I think they have plenty of time to turn it around, and I think they will. They got the emotional stuff and the character stuff right. Just let the dude punch. Those are my final thoughts. Just let the dude punch. And that's all I got for this video, you guys. If you too hate the lunk alarm in the MCU, then please feel free to like this video. If you agree, disagree, comment, let me know. If you want to be super cool, feel free to subscribe. The channel is growing super fast. We are now at 850 subscribers. We are so close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Once we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, I do plan on giving away a copy of Donkey Kong Bonanza. I appreciate everyone who has joined along on this journey so far. It means the world to me. With all of that said, until next time, you all have a great day.